Welcome to the Easy School of Greek. First, a quick introduction to the Greek alphabet. The Greek alphabet has 24 letters, 17 of them consonants and 7 vowels. Consonants are the letters of which the sounds are created by your breath while using the lips and or teeth and or tongue, and the vowels, the ones created with just your breath and the shape of your mouth without any obstruction. The 24 letters have an uppercase, tall form used for capital letters and a lowercase form with the same sound. I will set them side by side for you to see both forms. Just for the very beginning of this lesson, I will use a transliteration of Greek just so that you know what you're listening, and it will be in green color on the upper right section of the screen. Pay attention to the stressed syllable, the one that has a stress mark above the vowel of the syllable, which is important for your pronunciation. Quick introduction. Alpha, Beta, Gamma. The handwritten gamma looks like a loop. Despite that, you'll see gamma written like that in books. Delta, Epsilon, Zeta, Eta, Theta, Iota, Kappa, Lambda. The ancient name of the letter is lambda, but it is also called lambda without the V, and it surely makes it easier to pronounce. Mi, Ni, Xi, Omicron, Pi, Rho, Sigma, Sigma, Sigma τελικό. The third letter here is to be used only at the end of a word when that word ends in a S sound and it is in lowercase. It is called sigma τελικό or τελικό sigma because it is the final letter at the end. Taf, Ypsilon, Phi, Χ, Ψ, Ωμέγα. Το αλφάβητο, η αλφαβήτα, the alphabet. Το αλφάβητο, το αλφάβητο, is used generally for languages. Example, το αγγλικό αλφάβητο, the English alphabet. But η αλφαβήτα, derived from the first two letters, a feminine word, because the second letter vita ends in a, is used for the Greek alphabet mainly except if you specify. Example, η γαλλική αλφαβήτα, the French alphabet. Adjectives that show origin do not need a capital first letter in Greek. These are details for now, so I continue. Το ελληνικό αλφάβητο, the Greek alphabet. Just listen for now. Alpha, Β, Γ, Δέλτα, Epsilon, Zeta, Eta, Theta, Iota, Kappa, Lambda, Mi, Ni, Xi, Omicron, Pi, Rho, Sigma, Sigma τελικό, Taf, Ypsilon, Phi, Χ, Ψ, Ωμέγα. The sound of each letter. Try to create the sound you hear as I explain. A, A, αγάπη, μάτι, πατάτα, αλάτι, δάσος. Βιβλίο, βιταμίνες, βέρα. Γάτα, παγωτό, οδηγός. Γλώσσα, γράμμα. And a different way to say is like a you in yes, you, yummy. Γέλιο, γη, γιαγιά, φαγητό. The sound is for when is followed by a, o, u, and you, ye, yi, when it is followed by a sound or e sound. Fun fact, yeah sounds like yeah, earth in ancient Greek poetry. Δάσκαλος, δέμα, δωμάτιο, ρόδο, παιδί. Ελλάδα, νερό, σελίδα, δεδομένα, πεταλούδα. Ζωή, ζάχαρη, ζύμη, μαζί, πεζοπορία. Ήλιος, νησί, πόλη, κήπος, μήλο. Θάλασσα, καλάθι, θέμα, μαθητής. Ιστορία, τιμή, κρασί. All E sounds are generally pronounced the same in Greek, but if you want to sound like a native, you will have to learn certain rules for an E sound within certain syllables. I will explain that in another lesson about Greek pronunciation. Καλάθι, οκτώ, κόκκινο. It also has a k sound, like cute. Κέρμα, κερί, κινητό, άκυρο. The Q sound is there when kappa is followed by e or e. L. Λεμόνι, λίμνη, θάλασσα, λουλούδι, γάλα. But there is also a more intense version of λ. Ήλιος, ελιά, αλλιώς. There's usually this iota after it and another vowel that changes the sound to l. M. μαμά, μέλλον, κομμάτι, μουσική. But there is also another version of me. Μνι, μια, καμιά, καλαμιά. Ν, ν. Νερό, νίκη, μήνας, βουνό, καναπές. And another version of me. Νι, χανιά, κούνια. You also see there's iota after and a vowel. X, x. Ξανά, ξένος, αξία, έξοδος, αμάξι. Ο, ομάδα, οδός, όλα, όριο. Π, παππούς, πίτα, πόνος, σαπούνι, καπνός. Ρ, ρ. Tongue forward. Ρολόι, ρούχα, ημέρα, μερίδα. Σ, σ. Σελίδα, σιτάρι, ανάσα, νησί, άσκηση, μαθητής. In certain cases can be pronounced as a z, more later. Τ, τ. Τηλέφωνο, ταξίδι, τετράδιο, κάτι. Ή, μύθος, ξύλο, άτυχος. All E sounds are pronounced the same in Greek, but we'll see special cases on another video. Φάρος, φαγητό, νυφάδα, νύφη, φυλακή. Χαρά, αχλάδι, χορός. And hue, as in human. Χέρι, χιόνι, όχι. Again we see it is followed by e or I, and it changes sound. Ps, ps. Ψάρι, ψέμα, ψυχή, πέψη, κατάψυξη. Fun fact. In Greece, when we want to call a cat close, we say ps, 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 ps. Ps, 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 ps. And the word to tell them to leave in a rude way is kshit, kshit, kshit. Cultural fact. Not all cats on the streets are strays. They just like to live in and out of a house. O. O. Ώρα. Μωρό. Φωνή. Μυρωδιά. Χελώνα. Χωρίς. Did you notice? Most Greek capital letters look like the English capital letters that you already know. These are those. The new letters you must learn for Greek are these. Gamma, delta, theta, lambda, xi, pi, sigma, phi, psi, omega. And the lowercase. The lowercase letters you use in English do not look the same in Greek. Here is alpha. Lowercase alpha does not have a turn at the top. Beta. There are many ways to write it, but it will never look like a B. And the sound is actually an English V. In Greek, the sound B needs two letters, mi and P. And if you see something that looks like V in Greek text, it is actually a N sound. It is the lowercase form for the Greek letter ni. Epsilon, E, does not look like I. It looks like the number 3 but mirrored. Eta, I. You can write it in all of these forms, but not like an H. Iota, I. Lowercase iota does not have a dot on top of it as the English I always has. It has a stress mark only when it needs to. Kappa, K. It can be written in these ways, sometimes even looking like a U, but it's not like a lowercase k. It has a shorter first line than the English equivalent. Mi. It's written in these ways, not like this. It's mostly like a U with a line in front of it. The Rho in the Greek alphabet is the English R equivalent. Rho, R. It is not written like a P, although it looks like it, because there's never a line going out from the top. not even a little bit. The P sound is like this, P. Lowercase is like this in Greek, and you can remember it by the fact that it looks like a door. So the P sound written in Greek looks like a door. Taf. T. Many ways to write it, but in none of these ways do you see a top part like T. Ypsilon. E. Not like a Y. Although in calligraphy there is a capital E that looks like a tall above the line Y. And in math we use He, Psi, written like this for equations. Lowercase epsilon should not be confused with an U sound. It's an E sound. The U sound in Greek is 2 letters always. Omicron, epsilon, U. He, H, H, H. It is not a X sound, but a H as in happy. The X sound is represented by 1 letter in Greek, Xi, with 1 sound, not K then S, X. The lowercase he is a bit bigger than X, and half of it falls under the line of the text. The Greek equivalent of S is written as sigma in uppercase and S like a whistle in lowercase, but if at the end of a word it changes into this kind. It's like a C with a comma. The lowercase for zeta, it can take all of these forms, but it will not look like the capital letter like it does in English. It looks like a line and an ending sigma. Line, ending sigma. There are letters that are completely new to you that represent these sounds. Th, as in theme. The, as in mother. The. In Greek language transliteration, you will find this the be represented by a D, but the actual sound of the Greek letter is soft, not a D. D in Greek is 2 letters. N, T, D. The X sound. The letter is Xi. It's written in these ways, and it's actually not that complicated. It's a line, a C, and an ending sigma. These 3 steps to write it. For the Ps sound, we have Psi. Capital Psi, lowercase psi. Xi and Psi, when pronounced in Greek, have 1 sound. You just have to say it fast. X, ps, x, ps. The F sound is Fi. Ways to write it? Either a closed circle or a little open one. Lambda, L. with all these ways to write it. A L sound, like an L. Gamma, G, G. It looks like the symbol that is used for gamma rays. Omega, O. Two ways to write the capital omega and the lowercase omega. You will be taught how to write the letters later in this lesson. Now that you've been introduced to the Greek alphabet, let's look at the consonants and vowels. Consonants. Σύμφωνα. These are the 17 consonants in uppercase. Κεφαλαία. Uppercase letters. Κεφαλαία. And here are consonants in lowercase. Πεζά or μικρά. And let's look at the vowels. Φωνήεντα. Most of the words in Greek end in a vowel. Other endings are sigma τελικό and ni. There are 7 vowels and 17 consonants in the Greek alphabet, total 24 letters, but there are 32 sounds used while speaking Greek. There are 7 vowels in the alphabet, but only 5 sounds we use to pronounce them. That's because we have several letters for E. These are the 7 vowels: A, E, I, O, I, O. And these are the 5 sounds: A, I, O, U. In more detail, there are a few double vowels that have one sound. Alpha iota has the sound E. Epsilon iota, omicron iota, epsilon iota, a rare one, make the sound E. An easy thing to remember for double vowels is that the second letter is always iota. Iota here, 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 here. There are some diphthongs that are pronounced fast enough to sound like one syllable. I, oi, I, oi. We'll see those later. And finally, there are the combinations af, ef, or av, ev, where the ypsilon changes sound in speech only depending on the letter following it. If the following letter is a vowel, or it makes the vocal cords vibrate, the ypsilon is pronounced as v. If not a vowel and doesn't make the vocal cords vibrate, it is pronounced as f. Αύριο, γεύμα. R, m make the vocal cords vibrate, so this is read as v. Αύριο, γεύμα. The taf and he don't make the vocal cords vibrate, so here the ypsilon is read as f. Αυτός, ευχαριστώ. Here's the table that shows the vowel sounds. The sounds are these: A, E, I, O, U. But some of these sounds have more than one ways to be written. For E, we have 2 ways to write it. For I, we have 6 ways to write it. O, 2 ways. Important. Double vowels don't always make one sound. They can be separated into two sounds or syllables or be a diphthong. You'll see how later in the lesson. There are 18 plus 2 sounds made by consonants and combination of consonants based on Greek grammar. Some are letters from the alphabet that you know, and those bold ones are combinations of consonants. This is G, this is B, D, Z, Z. There are 18 sounds based on Greek grammar, but based on phonology, there are 27 speech sounds made by consonants. That is because some of the written consonant sounds have more than one way they can be pronounced. For example, we already saw that kappa can be k, kori, or q, kerasi, and he can be h, hara, or hu, hira. Lambda can be l, lazos, or ly, llacada. If you didn't notice, from these letters, xi and psi are not here. Xi and psi are considered double. Ks, ps. This is only an introduction on how to speak Greek, so I kept this part short and quick. If you want to learn how to sound like a native Greek when speaking, I will link a lesson for that in the description of the video, and it will be a different video because it's not easy for beginners. But as you learn more Greek, you can be going back to that video and you will understand it more each time. I will also have links to other videos on which I will be explaining some of the content of this lesson more analytically.